Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of August 5th through August 9th. We're in part 2 of our weekly trading game plan. We'll be selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks in our bullpen, stocks in our shopping list. We'll also talk about how we can use dividend payers and several option strategies to generate income while we wait for our top swing trading stocks to set up. So thank you again for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for August 5th through August 9th, and let's get started. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for August 5th through August 9th. We keep our notes for our weekly trading game plans in publicly accessible Google documents. Our notes documents contain links to bonus videos, to the tools and resources we use to trade our top swing trading stocks to watch, etc. If you have not already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this trading week, titled Make Money Trading in August 2024, we would highly recommend that you also view part 1, as this contains our market analysis, trade strategies, trade ideas as input for this trading week. We keep all of our weekly trading game plan notes documents in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer back to the notes for part 1, as well as previous week's weekly trading game plans. And again, you can find a direct link to that Google Drive folder in the description box below. Welcome Walter Lyons, Logan Flips, the Ricky Khan. Thank you all for joining us in the chat today. Hope you all are doing well. So we don't have any trade updates. We didn't change any positions this week yet, but just a quick reminder, if it would, although I don't ever recommend anyone blindly follow us into or out of trades, it would help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career, to see when we enter or exit a trade. You can get real-time notification of when we enter or exit a trade by joining our Patreon. We also have several channels available to our Patreon members in our Discord with additional helpful alerts, again, to help you make money trading, and I'll show you very briefly. So firstly, we have a Thinkorswim TOS alerts channel. I also have price alerts set up in Thinkorswim. When those get triggered, they get automatically posted to the Thinkorswim TOS alerts channel, so we can see when Intel broke its 52-week low, when MP Materials broke its 52-week low. Those get posted in the Thinkorswim's TOS alerts channel in our Discord. If I do follow up one of those alerts with an actual trade, then I'll reply to that alert in the Thinkorswim channel. If I make a trade, either opening or closing a trade not directly related to a Thinkorswim alert, then I'll post that in the trade alerts channel so you can see when we went long on wheat. So again, I'll post that in the trade alerts channel. And we also have another alerts channel with real-time alerts generated from our automated systems when stocks are moving up, breaking out near our price targets. A great way to see sector rotation, trend changes in the markets, etc., breakouts, and you can also get access to that additional alerts channel with real-time alerts by joining our Patreon at the All Access or VIP level. And you can see how you can use this real-time alerts channel to help you identify when stocks are moving up, breaking out, and hopefully help you make money trading via the link to that video in the notes. Again, just to show you the alerts channel very quickly, a lot of information about support and resistance when stocks are moving up. So again, sectors breaking out, healthcare breaking out, etc. So again, another great time for shorter term traders, day traders, scalpers to identify breakouts, trend changes, sector rotations in the market. So again, we hope that all helps. Welcome the Crow, Ellen Krantz. Thank you all for joining us in the chat today. Hope you all are doing well. So next, we'll quickly go over our top swing trading stocks to watch. I'll go over the notes in our document, and then we can also look at our top swing trading stocks to watch list in our Google Sheet, and also their charts in Webull. Let me grab a quick drink and we'll go over our watch list updates for this week. Okay, here's our top swing trading stocks to watch list for this week. We've been watching MP Materials. Again, as you saw, MP Materials broke down below its 52-week low. We got that alert in our TOS alerts channel. They reported a loss in earnings, so it did break down below its 52-week low. We'll see where it settles in at a new support level and see if we get a bounce as we typically have gotten in the past in MP Materials. If you'd like to hear our longer-term thesis on why we like MP Materials, we have a link to a previous due diligence video in the notes. We've also been watching PBT. PBT is a monthly dividend payer, Permian Basin Royalty Trust on oil and gas in the Permian Basin. We traded that briefly back, I think it was in June. Got the monthly dividend, missed the monthly dividend for July as it had run up with oil breaking down. It's come down a bit. We'll see if we can catch PBT for its monthly dividends. And you can hear our thesis on PBT, why we like it as a dividend paying stock on oil and gas. We have the bonus link to that video in the notes. The next one is a new addition to our top swing trading stocks to watch list that I want to spend a few moments going through with you today. This is PERI Networks. This is an internet digital marketing company. Again, we'll look at it in FinViz, also at ChartMill. This one has been popping up in my queries that I do on trading below cash and trading below book for some time. In their previous earnings, they had issued a poor guidance on the digital marketing segment, and it had gapped down a couple times. Again, now it's trading below cash and trading below book, and we'll also look at it in ChartMill, and we'll look at the fundamentals and technical setup in ChartMill. So just look at PERI for quickly. And just a quick reminder, you can find links to all the tools and resources that we typically use for our market analysis, due diligence, etc. in the links section on our homepage. And I'll throw that link. It's beachbumtrading.com. I'm without the U, and I'll put that up in the banner as well. You can find the links again to FinViz, and we'll also look at it ChartMill. So if we look at PERI and FinViz, we traded PERI profitably years ago before it had run way up, and again now it came back down and is showing trading below cash, so you can see those gaps down. Again, they just reported earnings. They actually reported better than expected EPS, better than expected revenue, so we might get a pop in PERI. And again, it's got several significant gaps to fill. Looks like it's just sitting right now along its short-term moving average. You can see it's about 812 right now. They've got 843 showing in cash, 1499 in books. So again, it's trading below its cash value. Potential of acquisition at that level, since an acquirer could actually get more in cash than the current stock price. It is optionable. They have very low debt, so that's a positive. Not a gap between outstanding and float of shares, so it doesn't look like a risk of offering. Not a very high short float. This, again, declined significantly this year. If we look at their profile, so they provide advertising solutions to brands, agencies, North America, Europe. It's got a publishing platform, creatives, etc. They're based in Israel, so again, it might some of the turmoil in the Middle East could cause a little disruption, but they don't seem to have been negatively impacted too bad by that. If we look at their net income, it's been positive, although it decreased the current year. EPS, again, positive but decreased. Look at their quarters. So last quarter, as of June, they reported a loss. And again, you saw that gap down. Net income, again, a loss. So this looks like, a potential turnaround story. We look at their longer term chart, even, shorter terms, got upside through those gaps up into the 30s. So, potential multi-bagger. And again, it's been, as high as 45 or so in the past. So again, potential turnaround story. They did beat on EPS, did beat on revenue. See if there's any news. Just their transcripts. So let's also look at them briefly in Chartmill. So again, you can find the link to Chartmill on our homepage. We look up PERI. You see it's currently got a setup technical rating of 0, but a setup rating of 3. It's got health 4 out of 5, profitability 4 out of 5, valuation 2.5, growth, so not high growth. We look at the fundamentals. It's getting a 6 out of 10 in the fundamentals, so that's relatively positive. Again, good health, good valuation, good profitability, not a growth stock, doesn't pay a dividend. So again, very high in profitability, good margins, good health, and an Altman Z of 2.72. So again, not a risk of any solvency issues. We look at their technical analysis real quick. Currently, it's got a 0. Again, it's performed poorly this year, but it's got a setup rating of 6 out of 10. So again, currently the setup is pretty good. So again, given all that data, it's trading below cash. They did beat on earnings. We thought that would be a good addition to our watch list. We'll see it did hold up pretty well in the recent downtrend in the market. So if anyone else has traded PERI, owns PERI in the past or currently, let us know what you think of it. Do you have any additional information about PERI? Why it'd be a good swing trade? Why or why not? We'd love to hear your feedback. So again, I hope that all helps. Back to our top swing trading stocks to watch. I left SDOW, which is the short on the Dow. In our watch list, it has run up. Again, we saw a decrease in all of the indices. If we do get a reflexive correction, pop back up in the Dow, there may still be some opportunities to short that reflexive correction near an all-time high in UDOW, which is the leveraged long on the Dow at or near that previous all-time high. So if we do get a reflexive correction to the upside, might be another opportunity to short the Dow with SDOW. And again, congratulations, as we'll see, to all of our fellow BeachBum traders that caught and profited from that last bounce in SDOW. The last one we're adding to our top swing trading stocks to watch list, which I also want to take a quick look at in a little more detail, is SVOL. SVOL is a monthly dividend paying stock that we have in our dividend payers Google sheet. So we'll also look at the dividend payment information in our dividend payers Google sheet for SVOL. This is a short on volatility. And again, it's a dividend payer. Again, this popped up. I've been watching for this. We saw that pop in the VIX, pop in the volatility VIX up to about 29.66. So we'll see that pushes SVOL down. So again, we'll see it pays a decent premium in our dividend payers. I just briefly look at this in FinViz. So again, simplified volatility premium ETF. Go back to the daily. See, it pays a dividend about 30 cents a month. So, and we see that big plummet in SVOL on the spike in the VIX. So again, now it's relatively low, but we can see it's been lower back in October, November of 22. It was as low as, that shows as low as 2055. So we'll see in Webull, it shows as 2052. So again, it's potential more downside in SVOL. So we're looking for, another spike in the VIX, another bottom in SVOL around that 2052 area, and we'll see that price target in our watch list Google sheet. Again, you can see it's showing almost a 17% yield, so nice monthly dividend. Again, on a spike in the VIX, we know, the VIX tends not to stay high. It could spike very high, but tends not to stay, that it's going to retrace, naturally retraces back down. So while that retraces back down, we can sit there and collect those monthly dividends on SVOL. So if we do get a very high spike in the VIX, one of our favorite trades is to short the VIX at a very high spike using SVXY. So again, I didn't put that in the watch list yet, as that's still relatively high. But again, if we get an extreme spike in volatility, then SVXY is another one that we would trade to short the VIX. So you can see what it's comprised of. It's VIX futures. So again, this is based on VIX futures. So again, not so much as the VIX. We didn't get that spike as high in the VIX futures. So again, SVOL probably has some more downside as the futures and the VIX trend up with the overall VIX, real-time VIX. So you can see it's 1/5 to 3/5 the inverse of the performance of the S&P VIX short-term futures index. So again, based on the VIX futures. So again, we would want to watch things like the @VX and FinViz, which is the futures on the VIX for a spike, as an entry point in SVOL. So again, if anyone else has traded SVOL as a monthly dividend payer to trade short on spikes in the VIX, short volatility, we'd love to hear your feedback, why you like it or don't like it. It hasn't been around, a super long time. So if we zoom out to the monthly, we can see it's only been around since about 21, so post the pandemic. So we can't really get a measure based on the bottom from the pandemic. The nearest bottom we can find is the bottom of 2022. So we'll use that as a potential support level. Welcome, Easy Mike. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. So if we quickly, let me grab a drink and then we'll look at those in our Google Sheet and also in the charts in Webull. Okay, just a quick reminder, you can also watch our top swing trading stocks to watch, as well as our bullpen stocks, shopping list stocks, etc. in our new watch list Google Sheet. You can get 24/7 access to our watch list Google Sheet, as well as our other Google Sheets by joining our Patreon, our ETFs, our dividend payers, etc. So we'll look at price targets in our watch list Google Sheet. So you can see our watch list Google Sheet contains our price targets for our top swing trading stocks to watch in the watch list tab. And then we'll also see our bullpen stocks and shopping list stocks in the bullpen and shopping list tabs as well. So you can see our price targets when the Google Finance functions are responding. It'll fill in the price, real-time price or near real-time price data from the Google Finance functions. You can also see dividend information, ex-dividend information, optionality, etc., all in our watch list Google Sheet. And you can see how you can use our watch list Google Sheet to watch our top swing trading stocks to watch via the series of videos, via the links in our notes, also in our BeachBum trading channel. Our watch list Google Sheet is automatically regenerated at the end of each day. So it recalculates our price targets, etc. Automatically updates our watch list Google Sheet. If I do make any changes after that Google Sheet is updated, I will post those in the Stocks Watch List channel in our Discord, which our Patreon members also have access to. So you can see when I added PERI on networks after that was generated on the 31st. I posted that one to our Stocks Watch List Google Sheet. So if we look at the charts for the top swing trading stocks to watch in Webull, so here's MP Materials. Again, they reported a loss in their recent earnings. It dropped down below its previous 52-week low. Again, we saw that alerted in our Discord and the Thinkorswims alert channel. So again, the question is where it's going to find a bottom or bounce, find another support level. So it's down 1094. Again, quite cheap relative to where it's been in the past. So it's been as high as almost 20. So and even higher farther back. So again, plenty of potential upsides. Just a matter of where it's going to find support. That's showing a support near 1066 for the very long-term support. So we'll see where MP Materials finds a bottom and bounces. PBT, again, monthly dividend payer on oil and gas, had run up. Again, oil came back down below 75, so PBT's come down a bit. I think it went ex-dividend on 731, so we missed the July dividend. But we'll see it's only a 7-cent per month dividend. We're interested more in price appreciation. And again, I'll show that also in our dividend payers Google Sheet. We already looked at PERI. So again, we can see kind of a spike down to 785. But it has declined. It looks like it may bounce on earnings. So we'll see if that's a good support level right at 8. And see if we can get a swing back up in PERI. We can see it's got plenty of upside in the past, some big gaps to fill. Again, for SDOW, we look at UDOW, which is the leverage long on the Dow for entry point. We see it decline, late last week with the decline in the market. Before that, it had been trying to retest that recent high. So again, if we get a reflexive correction in the indices in the Dow, we might get another entry point back in UDOW or back in SDOW. So again, we see it ran up on that drop in the Dow. Again, congratulations to any of our BeachBum traders that caught that bounce in SDOW. We looked at SVOL, so see a steep decline on the spike in the VIX. Again, we can see it's been as low as 2052, so it's got quite a ways to drop. But again, if we get a spike in VIX futures, that would be nice to collect those monthly dividends while we wait for the VIX to settle back down and retrace. Okay. Next, we'll look at our bullpen stocks. Let me grab a drink and we'll look at our bullpen stocks for the week. Just a quick reminder, if you're not already using Webull, you can get up to 75 free fractional shares of stock, plus they're offering a 5% and extra 2% interest for the first 30 days, so 7% interest on your idle cash. They also have several other promotions. And with your 75 free fractional shares of stock, they're each worth like $3,000 to $3,000. If you fund your account with 25K or more, under 25K, I think you get like 20 free fractional shares of stock. And they're still offering that 70% interest rate. So again, we use Webull for our market analysis, our due diligence, the majority of our trading. So if you're not already using Webull, if you would join with our affiliate link in the description box below, you can get all of these bonuses, all these fractional shares of stock, and also help support our BeachBum trading community, which we greatly appreciate. Here's our list of bullpen stocks. So again, the concept of our bullpen stocks are ones that don't necessarily have a setup we would like for our top swing trading stocks to watch list, but I've identified they may in the near future, so we put them in the bullpen. If their setup improves, then we put them in the game, move them up to our top swing trading stocks to watch list. If they break down or run away, then we just take them out of the bullpen and we can revisit them again in the future. Now again, in our watch list Google Sheets, much easier to watch our bullpen stocks also in real time, so we can trade those pretty easily as well. So some of the stocks we have in our bullpen right now, we've had LWAY, Lifeway Foods. This is consumer defensive. You can hear our thesis on LWAY, Lifeway Foods via the link to the bonus video in the notes. Been watching Mexico. This is the leveraged long on Mexico, MEXX. It had run up a little bit. It looks like it's rolling over. You can hear our comparison of several ETFs to use to trade Mexico via the link to that video in the notes. Mosaic, it's kind of run up a little bit. I thought about taking it out, but we'll see. Basic materials, it's been choppy lately, so I left that in there for now. We'll see if we get an entry point in Mosaic. It is a dividend payer. At MRAM, Everspin Technologies in our bullpen for a little while. Again, kind of a lesser known semiconductor with RAM. You can hear our previous discussions on Everspin via the bonus link to the video in the notes. With the decline in semiconductors, technologies, etc. We'll see if that gives us a entry into MRAM. It does seem to have held up pretty well in that decline, so that might be a good kind of laggard semiconductor again to trade. REMX, another rare earth. Again, this is an ETF of all kinds of rare earth materials. It had run up, declined. It does contain MP materials, so another way to trade more broadly rare earth materials. You can hear our previous discussions on REMX via the link to the video in the notes. And then yesterday, we saw that pretty steep decline in uranium for the week. Last week, we identified UROY. It's one of the uranium stocks that we like. You can hear our previous discussions on some of the uranium stocks we like via the link to the video in the notes. Again, UROY looks like it's approaching a support level. We'll see somebody got some cheap shares. I think it was on Friday. Otherwise, seems to be holding up pretty well. So that's the uranium. I did look at several of these others that we like. They seem to be coming down. So if some of these others come down to a support level of our price targets, we might also add some of those as well. Also left Yelp in here. You can hear our discussions on Yelp. We'll see if that's one we want to take a look at. You see it was double bottom back in June. Again, you can hear our previous discussion via the link to the bonus video in the notes. So again, now you can See our price targets on our bullpen stocks, also in our watch list Google sheet. Again, same optionality, dividend information, etc. Again, if the Google Finance functions respond, you can see they'll fill in the pricing data. They seem to be intermittent. So again, you can see our price targets. Here's UROY, Yelp, etc. It'll fill in the risk reward profiles, etc. In near real time, again, when the Google Finance functions are responding. I look at those charts in Webull. So again, Webull, you can easily have multiple watch lists, flip through quickly and easily. So if we look at our bullpen stocks, here's LWAY, again, the consumer defensive. Again, looks like it's been pretty stable. It did break down a little bit recently, but again, if you're looking for a consumer defensive play, again, looks relatively stable, held up pretty well. Got plenty of upside. MEXX on Mexico. So if I zoom this in a little bit, I see it had run up. This looks like it's correcting. It actually broke down below its previous support level, which is, I think, 1590. So again, we'll be looking to see where the next support level is for MEXX. See if we get a swing back up like we previously saw after the steep decline in the election. You can see it's gotten several corrections back up, but it's continuing to trend down. So again, when that bottoms and swings, you have short-term scalp opportunities as well as potentially longer-term swing opportunity. Mosaic, again, it had run up, looked like it's rolling over. So if we get further declines in the market, previous bottom was right off that support level at 2654. So you'll see that's where I've got our price target set. MRAM, again, had run up. Looks like it's coming down. Again, it's holding up pretty well around that support level. So that's showing a support at 583, previous low at 554, 564. So again, held up pretty well in the decline in semiconductors and tech. Near-term potential upside to 7, so not super big upside, but much longer term up to 9 or so. So yeah, there's that 554 bottom. REMX, rare earth materials, again, been in, pretty much trending down, broke down late in the week with the breakdown in material sector. So again, we'll see it broke down below its 52-week low. So we'll see where that REMX finds some support. Again, this one's difficult to trade as it seems to rebalance right at market open. So it's just be aware of that gap up, gap down right at market open, and that's a little difficult to trade. So here's UROY, again, uranium. Again, somebody got some cheap shares, I guess it was on Thursday. It went down as low as 2. I checked the market, the level 2 at that time, and the bid-ask range was already up above that. So again, somebody got some cheap shares. Our price target is at the 52-week low of 202. So it looks like we might get an opportunity to scoop up some UROY. Again, not super big upside, in the high 2s near term, longer term, maybe the mid 3s. So again, not a super high ROI we can see, or risk reward. See the very bottom's 181. So I do also have alert set at 181. Here's Yelp. Again, I left that one on as it looked like it, rolled over. So we'll see if that's the bottom. Last time it bounced near that area. So again, it's broken down. Looks like it's near that previous support. Again, we'll see if that's the bottom or if it continues to break down. And we might let that one go. Okay. Grab a drink and we'll talk about shopping list stocks and then continue. Okay, we've, for a long time been recommending that you have your shopping list ready for any irrational reaction to earnings, any corrections to the market, and we, finally got one. It may continue, so if you've got your shopping list ready, you know what you want to buy where. Also, you vetted it, and stay away from zombie stocks, zombie companies, zombie ETFs. Again, none of our content should be considered financial advice. We're not financial advisors. All of our content is for education, hopefully some entertainment purposes only. But again, higher for longer. We still haven't got rate cuts, although the speculation is we're going to get them. These zombie stocks are still at risk. Also, yesterday we talked about our previous discussions on how to take advantage of any back-to-school sale in the stock market. And it looks like, we might be getting a back-to-school sale in the stock market. So in the link to this video, you can see several ways to find cheap value stocks, cheap profitable stocks, etc., that you might want to add to your shopping list. So hopefully you've, again, got your shopping list ready to take advantage of any, further corrections in the market. If you want to evaluate the health of a money-losing company in terms of how many quarters of cash flow positive they have, you can use our biotech due diligence Google Sheet by joining our VIP or all access Patreon. And then again, you can use that to calculate the quarter's cash flow positive for any money losing stock, not just a biotech stock. Make sure you're not at risk of an offering or solvency or reverse split, etc. Now you can also watch our shopping list stocks in the shop list tab of our watch list Google Sheet. So you see we have a number of the Mag 7s. I'm watching Disney. Disney finally broke down below 90. We've talked about, selling puts. We'll look at that again, selling puts on Disney, buying shares. We have another uranium, DNN, we're watching. We're watching Intel for a bottom. It had negative, they're doing layoffs, they cut their dividend, etc. So keep an eye on that. Also several REITs, land, LTC, O, Stag, etc. So again, you can see what we have in our shopping list and track those in the shop list tab of our watch list Google Sheet as well. Also several of the yield max dividend payers, and we'll look at those as well in the dividend payers Google Sheet, APLY, TSLY, also Tesla. Okay, so next we're going to look at dividend payers. So if anyone in the chat has a particular additional dividend payer you'd like to look at, please let us know. Again, we use dividend payers to, collect and generate monthly income or regular income using dividend payers. And you can also use our dividend payers Google Sheet to generate your own schedule of income using dividend payers by joining our Patreon at the All Access or VIP level. Again, you can use our dividend payers Google Sheet, find the dividend payers that have the yield, price appreciation, schedule of dividends that you would like, fit the category that you would like, etc. So let me grab a quick drink and check the chat for any particular ones that you all want to look at. Good morning, Tony Roses. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. I'll grab a drink. Thank you for reminding everyone. Please smash the like button. We greatly appreciate the support. Grab a drink. And again, if there's anyone that wants to look at a particular dividend payer, we can do that a second. Okay, firstly, I want to quickly look at the dividend payment information for that SVOL that we talked about and added to our watch list. So again, you can find more details about the dividend information for any of these dividend payer stocks in our dividend payers Google sheet. So here's SVOL. That's that short on volatility. So again, you can see it pays a monthly dividend, about 30 cents. It went ex-dividend last on 7/26. So probably late August would be the next one. See, it's got a 16% yield, a little bit higher since it's come down in terms of adjusted yield. So not a whole lot of, short-term price appreciation. But again, if we do get a spike in the VIX futures, see the risk reward profile is pretty attractive now. It's sitting at 2132, bottom at 2052. I'll put that down. So again, you can track the dividend information for SVOL in our dividend payers Google sheet. Also PBT, if you want to look at the dividend information for Permian Basin Trust. Again, you can see 7 cents a month, pretty negative for the year as it's down. So again, good price appreciation. So again, that's one we would buy for price appreciation on oil and natural gas in the Permian Basin. Welcome, Sydney Osborne. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Also wanted to talk briefly about the yield maxes. So we've got several in our main sheet, APLY, the NBDYs in here, TSLY, etc. We also have them in our ad sheet. So if you do a find on yield max, I grouped them all together in the ad sheet of our dividend payers. So now you can see all the yield maxes for which we have information. So I've been watching a number of these. Again, we saw this pretty steep decline in the FANGs, the Magnificent Seven. So some of these might be becoming attractive. We recently looked at AMDY, talked about that. Although, again, I would be watching the underlyings, see where they reach a bottom, reach support, and then match that up with, make that the trigger for buying the yield maxes. But again, if you just want to collect a pretty healthy dividend on a recovery in some of the Mag 7s like NBDY, I know a number of our BeachBum traders have made nice profits on the run up in NVIDIA using NBDY. So again, some of these, again, don't have a lot of history, so it's a little hard to track their bottom and match that up with the bottom in the underlying stock. So again, I would recommend, find a support level, a bottom in the underlying stock, and use that as an entry point for the yield max stocks. Some of these also don't perform as well, as the underlying. So I'm trying to keep an eye and learn on those. But again, now you can see all the yield maxes grouped together on the ad sheet of our dividend payers, see the risk reward profiles, the yields, etc. Also, just a reminder, you can find the link to the yield max distribution schedule in the references sheet of our dividend payers Google sheet. So we can see the next ex-dividend date for all the yield maxes is 8/7. So I think that's this Wednesday. So if you want to get into any of the yield maxes for the essentially the July, the August dividend, the ex-dividend again is 8/7 for all the yield maxes. So I hope that all helps. So I'll leave this open and see if anyone else has any other dividend payers that you would like to take a look at. And if I missed your ticker before, your dividend payer symbol, and you want to take a look at one, please throw that back up and we'll try to take a look at that as well. Again, you can always go through the list. I go through the list and see if anybody pops up as an attractive dividend payer, and we'll be looking for more of these as the market's declining. Is there somebody we can scoop up at a good risk reward profile, good dividend yield, safe, good dividend yield, and collect profits, collect income while we wait for stocks to swing back up. You can see more information about how you can use our dividend payers Google Sheet to find the best dividend paying stocks, generate your own schedule of income using our dividend payers Google Sheet via the whole series of videos, via the link in our notes. Another strategy we use to generate income while we wait for our top swing trading stocks to set up is several option strategies. So the first is we sell covered calls against our positions when they're going up, buy them back when they're coming down, and we have a new Google Sheet that you can do what if analysis on various scenarios for selling and buying back covered calls, and you can get access and use that covered calls Google Sheet to do your what if analysis on selling and buying back covered calls by joining our Patreon. And we also have a video on how you can use that covered calls Google Sheet to do your what if analysis via the bonus link in the notes. We also sell puts when stocks are going down, buy them back when they're coming back up. And now with the bounce, the spike up in the VIX and the decline in number of stocks, we're seeing more potential opportunities to sell puts. So I've got some changes to some in our puts ROIC Google Sheet. We'll go over the changes and look at the various opportunities. So again, once we identify, we use our puts ROIC Google Sheet to identify potential opportunities to sell and then buy back puts. Again, generate income on those bounces. And again, with the decline in the market, I was spending more time watching the puts ROIC, see who's declining, see if their premiums becoming more attractive, and looking again to opportunities to make some cash by selling puts. And when the market bounces back up, we'll buy those back, keep the profits, etc. So here's some of the updates. Actually, let me grab a quick drink and I'll go over the updates to our Google Sheet, and then we'll look at some opportunities there. I saw Ellen's question about the risks involved with selling covered calls, selling cash secured puts. Thank you, Walter, for responding. If others can also respond, that would be appreciated and helpful. But yes, there's some risk on covered calls. You're risking the upside, capping your upside on cash secured puts. You're risking that you're going to get assigned and that the stock's going to decline further. So yes, there is some defined risk. Now, if you're selling naked puts, you could get a margin call, etc. But yes, there is some risk that you're going to get assigned a stock that then declines further. So yes, there's some risk. But in my humble opinion, these option strategies are probably the less risky of losing money. Again, if you get assigned the cash secured puts shares, you do still own these shares, and you can wait for it to recover. Now, if they go out of business, etc., then that would be a loss. So I hope that all helps. So here's some updates to our puts ROIC Google sheet. So I'm going to add a strike on Tesla at 140. We already have a near-term put for the August expiration, but I'm going to add the January, have it calculate the premium, see if that gives us a more attractive premium. If Tesla continues to decline and then rebounds, might be able to scalp that for some profit. A number of these companies had broken down below. We're very near their previous strike price, so I'm lowering those strikes in our system. So I lowered American Airlines down to 8. Again, that's a January 25. Dollar Tree from 100 to 85. It's broken down below that strike. Dexcom down to 62. Intel, again, broke down below support level. Make a new 52-week low, as we saw that alert in our Discord channel. So I put it down to 20. That one is probably going to look pretty attractive. There's another, I think, semiconductor LSCC broke down, so I lowered that to 45. And then also Avis, I updated it in the sheet and in our system. And then on Monday, it will collect the data to lower Avis from 90 to 75. So on Monday, that will update the current data for the previous strike price. Also, again, to answer some of Alan's questions as well, we have a number of videos on how you can use our puts ROIC Google sheet, and also options and some of the risks in terms of assignment, etc. We have videos in our options playlist. Again, we have a whole series of videos on how you can use our puts ROIC Google sheet to generate income, called Option Strategies for Beginners with Examples, and you can access that series via the link in the notes. So if we look at our main watch list of puts, we can see the Disney one for January is getting somewhat attractive, about 3%. Again, Disney had bounced back up over 90. Now it broke down below 90 again. Again, if it continues to head towards 80, might be interested in selling these puts at a higher ROIC and or buying shares. Right now, that's the only one on our main sheet. Our research sheet, see Albemarle, now 10% at that 80 strike price. So if you're interested in selling puts on Albemarle, pretty nice ROIC. Again, a pretty significant cash outlay if you're cash securing that. But again, if you think Albemarle materials is going to swing back up, that one looks attractive. We talked about CAR. Again, I'm lowering that, so that ROIC is not updated. See a number of others are potentially getting in the 3%, 4%. Ford at the 982 January strike is showing 7.8. So that's one, again, might take a look at selling some on those on early this week. Intel, I did put a sell out on puts on Intel at 225. So you can see I currently have sells out on the 20 strike price for January 25 at the 20 strike price at 225. I guess I was a little late. I thought it was going to retouch that on Friday. Might get those sell those puts. Again, you can show they're showing a 10% ROIC, so pretty nice return on capital. So again, if those sell, then I will update those in our Discord to our Patreon members as well. Again, I thought I might get that late in the day if we got a little bit of a dump on Friday, and it didn't quite get back up there. Again, if we get a spike in volatility, Intel dips a little more, we'll sell those puts on Intel at 20. Path is again looking a little interesting at 11. Now again, Path's currently a money loser. We talked about Path. We have a video on our thesis on Path for the future, but again, currently they're money losing, could continue to decline, so there might be some risk there, but again, some decent ROIC right now. So those are the ones right now that are showing above 5% ROIC. Again, I can also use this during the day to see who's declining or bouncing back. So once we sell them, then we can look for a bounce back, look for opportunities to buy those back cheaper, keep the profits, rinse and repeat. So again, can identify who's steeply declining. So you see a number of the other enterprise software companies pretty much in steep decline. Adobe, CRM, ServiceNow, etc. So those also might become attractive to you if you're interested in selling puts on any of those. Yeah, the ServiceNow steep decline as well. So if you have any other puts you would like us to add to our Google Sheet and have our automated systems collect the options data. Again, our automated systems will collect the options data, populate the gray columns at the end of each day. The others are Google Finance functions based, and those should update in near real time when the Google Finance functions are responding. So again, you can also use this to see who's moving up, moving down in the market, and some opportunities to generate income using puts, using our puts ROIC Google Sheet. So I hope that helps. Okay, if anybody in the chat has any other stocks you want to take a look at today, or any questions, topics you'd like to discuss, again, if I missed your ticker or your question earlier, if you'd please do me a favor and put that back up. I apologize if I missed it, but we can look at anything else that you'd like to look at or discuss for a few minutes. Let me grab a drink and then we'll see if there's anything else we need to cover today. Okay, I see Ellen Krentz is asking about the yen. We talked about the yen yesterday, and we looked at the ETFs we have in our ETF Google Sheet that you can long or short the yen. So we are currently long the yen using the YCL leveraged long ETF. The short leveraged ETF on the yen is YCS. We also have several ETFs in our ETF Google Sheet that you can long or short the Japanese stock market. So again, you can find all of those and pick the one that has the risk-reward profile, the leverage you would like, etc. In our ETFs Google Sheet. Welcome, Tanavir. Thank you for joining us again. Let's look at SOX S and SQQQ. So again, we have our technology components. So again, just a quick reminder, you can find our technology components screener as well as our major index screener in the screeners tabs of our Watchlist Google Sheet, also our ETFs Google Sheet. So this will show SOX L. This shows all the longs. So if we see SOX L, so SOX S is the inverse of semiconductors. So we use SOX L to determine the entry point. So when SOX L peaks, then that's the bottom of SOX S. So if we look at SOX L, and the question was, is there further upside in SOX S? We see SOX L broke down below that previous low. So again, not financial advice, but my humble opinion, there's more potential upside in SOX S. Again, might get a reflexive correction. There's a gap, might get a gap fill correction, but we've got below the moving average, below the trend line. So both SOX S, and you asked about SQQQ. Now TQQQ is the leveraged long on the NASDAQ. We can see it's approaching that and bouncing off that moving average. It also gapped down below that trend line. So again, it's got some support. So again, might get a bounce in TQQQ, which again would be a decline in SQQQ. So in SOX S, I think more potential downside. TQQQ, potential bounce. And then we'll see if it breaks down below that moving average. That might be a good opportunity for further shorting the Qs with SQQQ if we get a breakdown below that moving average. So I hope that helps, Tanavir. Again, you can track all of these technology component leveraged ETFs using the technology component screener that we have in our watch list and our ETFs Google Sheet. So I hope that helps. Okay, if anyone has any further questions, please put them in the comments to the video. Also, we can continue our discussions, 24/7 in our Discord, with the exception of the few channels I mentioned that are exclusive to our Patreons. We have all kinds of other channels with different trading styles, different asset classes. Again, the yen, we have discussions about trading the yen in the Forex, etc., commodities. Please tag us if you have any question for us in the Discord. We're BeachBum Trading, all lowercase, no other characters, numbers, etc. Anyone else is an imposter, and we would not DM or contact you. We would not ask you for money in a message, etc. We wouldn't contact you without letting you know in advance. So anyone else that does so is an imposter. Again, we need your feedback on how we can improve our weekly trading game plans, our tools, our Google Sheets, etc., our resources, our community. What can we do to add more value for all of our fellow BeachBum traders? So please let us know. Again, we also have a suggestion box in our Discord where you can put those recommendations for improvement as well. We need your feedback on what we can do to add more value for all of our fellow BeachBum traders. We hope that you like this content. Please smash the like button on our videos. Help us try to get the YouTube algorithm to show us some love someday and share our content with more traders around the world. And we'd greatly appreciate it if you would directly share our content with your fellow traders. Invite them to come join us in the live chats for the live streams. Join us in the Discord. Again, we can continue these discussions and do what we can to help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career. So thank you again to everyone that joined us in the chat today and everyone that's watching after the fact. Again, we'd love your feedback on what you think about all of this. And we hope to see you again back next weekend for our next weekly trading game plan. And good luck and have a great trading week. Thank you again. Have a great trading week.